For tens of thousands of years, humanity was a wanderer. Our ancestors roamed the earth, scattered tribes following the herds and the seasons, living day to day under an endless sky. They were hunters, gatherers, survivors. Their world was vast, wild, and untamed. But then, something changed. Something extraordinary happened. In the dust of the Near East, a revolution began. It was not a war fought with weapons, but a revolution of the mind, of spirit, and of the soil itself. Along the fertile banks of two great river systems, the Nile in Africa and the Tigris and Euphrates in Mesopotamia, a new idea took root. What if we stopped wandering? What if we stayed? What if we learned to command the water, to tame the land, and build something permanent? This was the dawn of a new age. From the scattered dust of nomadic life, the first great cities began to rise. Places like Uruk and Memphis, monuments of mud, brick, and stone reaching for the heavens. Humanity was no longer just surviving the world, it was starting to build it. This is the story of how we traded the wilderness for walls, how we invented gods and kings, and how we laid the foundations for the world we know today. This is the story of civilization. In the fertile crescent of the Nile, a civilization of immense power and mystery arose. The ancient Egyptians, masters of engineering and astronomy, embarked on a project that would defy time itself: the Great Pyramids of Giza. Imagine thousands of workers, stonemasons, and artisans united by a single divine purpose. They were slaves, but skilled laborers dedicated to building an eternal resting place for their pharaoh, a stairway to the stars. Huge limestone blocks weighing tons were quarried and transported with breathtaking precision. Each stone was a testament to their faith, their ingenuity, and their belief in an afterlife as real as the flowing Nile. The pyramids weren't just tombs, they were cosmic engines designed to launch the pharaoh's soul into the heavens. A marvel of human spirit echoing through millennia. The great cities of antiquity crumbled, dust settled on fallen empires. But from the ashes, a new world was rising, an age of iron and faith. An age of knights and castles. This was the Middle Ages. Stone fortresses pierced the sky, their banners snapping in the wind. Inside lived lords and ladies. Outside toiled serfs bound to the land. Chivalry was the code, the sword was the law. From the green hills of England to the heart of Europe, a new order was forged in the fires of conquest. But this wasn't just an age of war, it was an age of incredible movement. Great religions spread like wildfire, carrying new ideas and new ways of life. Far to the east, the legendary Silk Road pulsed with life. A vibrant artery connecting worlds, caravans laden with silk spices and secrets traveled for thousands of miles, linking the empires of China and Persia with the burgeoning kingdoms of the West. This exchange was not always peaceful. Civilizations clashed in epic struggles for land and belief. The Crusades saw armies march across continents, their crosses and crescents symbols of a deeply divided world. Yet even in conflict, cultures mingled, knowledge was shared, and the foundations of our modern world were laid. This was a time of brutal contrast, of magnificent cathedrals and muddy villages, of profound faith and savage warfare. It was the crucible in which nations were born and destinies were decided. An epic saga written in stone and steel. Join us as we journey back to this incredible era. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more. Imagine a world forged in steel and bound by honor. This was the age of the knight. Their journey began not on the battlefield, but in the halls of a castle as a young page. At 7 years old, a boy would learn manners, music, and the basics of combat. By 14, he became a squire, serving a knight directly. He cared for his master's armor and horse, learning the art of war firsthand. He would follow his knight into the chaos of battle, tasting the fear and the glory. If he proved his worth, he would finally kneel, a young man ready to be dubbed a knight. But being a knight was more than just skill with a sword. It was a way of life guided by the code of chivalry. Courage, justice, mercy, generosity, faith, nobility, and hope. These were the virtues a true knight strove to embody. And where did they display this prowess and honor? In the grand spectacle of the tournament. Here knights would clash in jousts and melees, not for war, but for glory, fame, and the favor of a lady. These were the superstars of their day, their legends whispered for generations. The knight was the armored heart of the Middle Ages, a symbol of strength and an ideal of virtue. From the shadowed halls of tradition, a new light began to dawn, not from divine decree, but from the human mind itself. This was the age of enlightenment, a revolution of thought that dared to question everything. Thinkers like Voltaire, Rousseau, and Locke championed reason, liberty, and the rights of the individual. They argued that humanity could improve itself through rational change, breaking the chains of superstition and absolute power. Their words sparked across continents, igniting the flames of revolution and reshaping the very foundations of society. But this intellectual fire soon fueled a different kind of revolution, one of iron and steam. The Industrial Revolution began with a single powerful invention. The steam engine, created by innovators like James Watt, it unleashed a torrent of new possibilities. Factories rose from the fields, their chimneys reaching for the sky like new cathedrals. A progress city swelled overnight, drawing millions from the countryside with the promise of work and a new way of life. Trains thundered across landscapes, shrinking distances and connecting the world like never before. The clatter of machinery became the new anthem of humanity. A world once governed by the seasons was now driven by the relentless ticking of the clock. A modern world was being forged in the heat of the furnace and the sweat of the laborer. This was not just a change in technology, it was the birth of the world. And so a new age dawned, not in the halls of kings, but in the fiery heart of a machine. The Enlightenment had unlocked the human mind. Now the Industrial Revolution would unleash its power upon the world. At the center of it all was an engine powered by steam. James Watt's invention was more than just metal and heat, it was a mechanical titan. This was the heartbeat of a new era. Coal was its food, iron its bones. With this new power, factories rose like dark cathedrals across the landscape. Inside, the air was thick with the clang of machinery and the hiss of steam, a relentless rhythm that never slept. People flocked from quiet fields to these new sprawling cities, drawn by the promise of work. Life changed forever. The slow pace of the countryside gave way to the frantic energy of the factory floor. Skylines once dotted with church spires were now choked with smokestacks, painting the sky gray. Humanity was forging a new world, a world of iron, steam, and unstoppable progress. This was the birth of the modern age. We know today. Thank you for watching. Join us next time as we explore the consequences of this brave new world. We stand on the shoulders of giants, gazing into a future our ancestors could only dream of. The 20th century closed a chapter of immense struggle, but also incredible progress. Then came the digital dawn. Silicon Valleys became the new empires, and lines of code the new languages of power. From the first click of a mouse to a universe of information in our pockets, the digital revolution rewired our world, connecting billions in a global conversation. But our ambition didn't stop at our planet's edge. We reached for the stars. From the International Space Station orbiting above to rovers exploring the dusty plains of Mars, humanity became an interplanetary species. We are pioneers charting a course through the final frontier. Yet this new era brings new challenges. Climate change, global pandemics, and the ethical questions of artificial intelligence test our wisdom and our will to cooperate. The story of humanity is far from over. We are the authors of the next chapter. What will we write? The 20th century gave way to the 21st, and with it came a revolution, not of steam or steel, but of silicon and light. The digital age dawned, connecting humanity in a vast, intricate web of information. Suddenly the world wasn't just interconnected, it was hyperlinked. Every click, every swipe wove us deeper into a global consciousness, a shared digital space where ideas spread like wildfire. And then something new began to stir within the machines: artificial intelligence. Once the stuff of science fiction, now a tangible force shaping our reality. These nascent minds learn, reason, and create, raising profound questions about our own nature. What does it mean to be human in an age of intelligent machines? What ethical compass will guide us as we hand over more of our world to algorithms? While our minds expand into the digital realm, our ambitions once again turn to the stars. The dream of becoming a multiplanetary species is rekindled. Rockets tear through the sky, carrying our hopes to Mars and beyond. We stand at a monumental crossroads, looking inward at the soul of our new machines and outward to the endless frontier of space. The next chapter of human history is not just being written, it's being coded and launched. Will we build a future of unity and discovery, or repeat the mistakes of the past? The choice is ours. The future is not something we enter, we are the ones who create it. Every action, every idea, every dream shapes the world to come. The journey continues. Thank you for joining us on this incredible voyage through time. If you've been inspired by our shared history, hit that like button and subscribe to continue exploring the stories that define us. Together, let's write a future worth remembering.